Good afternoon, children. Today we'll start the fifth chapter of history, that is rulers and buildings. Children, as in this chapter we are going to discuss about the engineering skills and the construction activities that are being carried by the different rulers in their time period. Clear, children? Now, just see this figure number 1, children, as in this figure, it shows the first balcony of the Qutub Minar. Children, Qutbuddin Aibak. As we know, Qutub Minar was constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak. Had this constructed around 1199. Now, children, what is main importance about this Qutub Minar? Notice the pattern. Just see the pattern created under the balcony. Children, as this figure shows the balcony of the Qutub Minar, clear? Now just see the pattern of the balcony by the small arcs and geometrical designs that are being shown in the balcony of the Qutub Minar. Now children, can you see two bands of the inscriptions under the balcony? Just see the two bands of inscription under the balcony. Children, these are in Arabic language. Clear? Notice that the surface of the minar is curved and angular. Just see the surface of the minar, as Qutub Minar is a minaret, एक मीनार है, clear? And its surface is curved and angular. So children, placing an inscription on such a surface required great precision, as this is curved and angular. So very precision, बहुत ही कुशलता की आवश्यकता होती है in order to show the things or the inscriptions on this. Clear, children? And that is only been possible by the skilled craft persons could perform this task. Clear? So, remember that very few buildings were made of stone or brick 800 years ago. Now, that is why the Qutub Minar is having a great impact on the observers in the 18th century. Clear, children? Now, between the 8th and the 18th centuries, kings and their officers built two kinds of structure. Children, as Qutub Minar is one such example of a construction activity carried by Qutbuddin Aibak. Now, as we are going to discuss about the time period 8th and the 18th century. So, during this time period, kings, especially these type of forts and palaces, are specially being constructed by the kings. Clear, children? So, they used to build two kinds of structures. The first were the forts or the palaces, the garden residences. What do you mean by garden residences? Along with the forts and their palaces, जो kings के palaces होते थे उनके साथ साथ में they used to construct the garden residences. उसके साथ साथ में ही gardens भी होते थे, as well as the tombs, safe, protected and grandiose places of rest in this world and the next. The second were the structures meant for public activity. Clear, children? As we have discussed about the first type of structures that are their own forts and palaces of the kings. Now, the second type of structures are for the public activities, for the people or the public. Clear, children? And these includes the temples, mosque, tanks, wells, karvasarais. What do you mean by karvasarais? Along the roads, they have the rest houses for the people and the bazaars. Clear, children? So, these are the different public activity places that are being meant by the or constructed by the king for the purpose of the people. Clear? Kings were expected to care for their subjects. What does this mean? जो राजा होता था उसका क्या काम था? He is being responsible to care for his people, and by making structures for their use and comfort, rulers hope to win their praise. तो इस तरीके के जितने भी structures थे, ये सब बनवा करके rulers क्या चाहते थे? They wanted to win the praise of their people, ताकि वो अपनी प्रजा को खुश रख सकें. Clear, children? Now, the construction activity was also carried out by others also, including merchants. Like, as in this example, we have discussed that thing. The kings used to construct these things, but the merchants were also there, those who also carried out these construction activities. They used to build the temples, mosques and wells. Clear, children? However, domestic architecture, large mansions. What do you mean by domestic architecture? The houses of the individuals. Clear? जो लोगों के अपने खुद के हाउस होते थे. Like, take an example of the large mansions that are हवेलीज of merchants. बड़ी बड़ी merchants की, व्यापारियों की हवेलियाँ has survived only from the 18th century. Clear, children? So now, as we have discussed about the two different types of constructional activities, or the two different types of structures that are being constructed by the kings for themselves as well as for the public activities. Now come to the next topic, that is engineering skills and the construction. Children, if you see the different monuments, like one such monument that we have seen is that of the Qutub Minar. Clear, children? In the very starting of the chapter, it provides an insight into the technologies used for construction. What does this mean? किसी भी monument को देख करके हमें ये पता चलता है कि किस तरीके की टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ की गई है for the purpose of construction of that building. Clear? Now, take something like a roof. For example, we can make this by placing wooden beams or a slab of stone across four walls. Generally, अगर आप roof का example लें of that of any monument or a building, what do you mean by roofs? Like अगर छत को देखें तो छत कैसे बनाई जाती है बच्चों? Generally, including the four walls, चार दीवारें बनाई जाती हैं, then ऊपर placing the wooden beams or the slab. Clear? The roofs are being constructed. But the task becomes difficult if you want to make a large room with an elaborate superstructure. What does this mean? अगर आपको एक बहुत बड़ा रूम बनाना हो, ठीक है, like अगर आपको अपना घर का कंस्ट्रक्शन कराना है, then it is very very easier for you. But if you have to construct like in the case of the kings, they used to construct the very big superstructures. Like palaces बनवाते थे, different monuments and buildings they used to construct. So that requires more sophisticated skills. Clear? It is not as easy task as that of making of an individual house. Clear? So children, between the 7th and the 10th centuries, architects started adding more rooms, doors and windows to buildings. Roofs and windows were still made by placing a horizontal beam across two vertical columns, and the style of architecture was called as Tribute or the Corbett style, in which ये क्या था बेटा? What is this Tribute style of architecture? इसमें जो roofs थे, जो छत थी, doors and windows were made by placing a horizontal beam across two vertical column. Clear? Just see this figure number 2b. It shows you the Tribute architecture style of construction, in which the two horizontal beams, two vertical columns being used. Clear, children? And this between the 8th and 13th century, the Tribute style was used in the construction of the temples, mosques, tombs and in buildings attached to the large step wells. The one such example that we have discussed about the Baulis. Baulis क्या होती थी? These are the different stepped wells, places entering into the Baulis. Clear? जिसमें कि पानी भरा होता था. Clear, children? So this figure, it shows the Tribute style used in the construction of the screen. Now this is one such example, figure number 2a, in which the screen in the Quayat-e-Islam Mosque, Delhi, is being used. Or the type of constructional activity, this is the same constructional activity that is being used in the construction of this mosque, that is Tribute style of architecture. Now children, come to another type of architecture, that is a true arc or a keystone at the center of the arc transferred the weight of the superstructure to the base of the arc. Just see in figure number 5a. Now, two technological and stylish developments are noticeable from the 12th century. First is the weight of the superstructure. These are the two noticeable developments in the field of construction. सबसे पहला क्या था इसमें? The weight of the superstructure. What do you mean by superstructure? The weight of the building above the doors and windows was sometimes carried by arcs. Children, this is in this figure. Just see in figure number 5a. It shows you the true arc. Clear? So इसमें क्या होता था? The weight of the superstructure of building was carried above the arcs. This architectural form was called as the arcuate style of architecture. That is totally been different from the trapeze style of architecture. Clear, children? Now, just limestone cement was increasingly used in the construction. So during this time period, limestone was one such material that is being used in most of the constructional activities, and this was a very high quality cement which when mixed with stone chips hardened into concrete. This made construction of large structures easier and faster. So generally in case of construction of all the forts, palaces of the rulers, they used this limestone, and as in order to have that superstructure to be very hardened and survive for a very long time period. Clear, children? Now just see this figure or this painting. Like this is a figure or a painting that's from the Akbarnama that we have discussed in the previous chapter, showing the construction of the water gate at the Agra fort. So this is also one such constructional style that was used during that time period. Clear, children? Now come to another important topic, that is building temples, mosques and tanks. Children, as we have already discussed in the previous chapters also, the rulers are very much interested in the construction of temples and mosques. So these temples and mosques were beautifully constructed. Because why it is so? Because these are the places of worship. यहाँ पे ये उनका पूजा का पवित्र स्थान होता था. They were also meant to demonstrate the power, wealth and devotion of the patron. Children, as in the previous chapter itself, we have already discussed that thing. By construction of the temples, a ruler used to show their power and strength also. Clear, children? Like take an example of Raja Rajeshwara temple. An inscription mentions that it was built by the king Raja Rajadeva for the worship of his god. Clear, children? Now, इस example से आपको ये बात बिल्कुल clear हो जाएगी. We are taking the example of Raja Rajeshwara temple that was built by which ruler? King Raja Rajadeva. So, Raja Rajeshwaram. So, just notice the names of the ruler. Ruler's name was Raja Rajadeva and the god's name was Raja Rajeshwaram. Clear, children? So, what is common in it? Children, the name of the ruler and the god's name was very much being similar. Clear, children? As the king took the god's name. And why it is so? क्यों राजा ने गॉड का नाम चुना? Because it was auspicious. क्योंकि भगवान का जो नाम था, it was very auspicious, बहुत ही पवित्र था, and he wanted to appear like a god. Raja Deva, honored. So through the rituals of worship in the temple, one god Raja Rajadeva honored the another, that is Raja Rajeshwaram. वो अपने आप को he wanted to appear himself like a god, कि जो राजा राजादेवा है, a ruler as well as the gods are being the similar to one another. Clear, children? So as we are talking about the large temples, largest temples were all constructed by the kings. As we have already discussed that thing, जितने भी बड़े temples होते थे, they are mostly being constructed by the kings. But children, the other lesser deities in the temple were gods and goddesses of the allies and subordinates of the ruler. The temple was a miniature model of the world ruled by the king and his allies. As they worshipped their deities together in the royal temples, it seemed as if they brought the just rule of gods on earth. So ये जितने भी temples होते थे that are being constructed by the rulers, that shows their they used to construct it in the as their royal temples. Clear, children? Now, talking about the Muslim sultans and the padshahs. Clear? As in the Delhi Sultanate chapter, as well as in related to the Mughal Empire even, we have discussed about the Muslim sultans. So, in their case, they did not claim to be the incarnations of the God. What does this mean? वो अपने आप को भगवान का स्वरूप नहीं मानते थे. But Persian court chronicles describe the sultan as the shadow of the god. They declared or show themselves as the shadow of the god, कि वो भगवान की परछाई हैं. Children, an inscription in the Kuwait-e-Islam mosque, it explained that God chose Alauddin as a king, but he had the qualities of Moses and Solomon. कि अलाउद्दीन को भगवान ने चूज करके धरती पे भेजा था टू वर्क ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द गॉड. क्लियर? द ग्रेट लॉ गिवर्स ऑफ द पास्ट. द ग्रेटेस्ट लॉ गिवर एंड आर्किटेक्ट वॉज गॉड हिमसेल्फ. जो भगवान है, ही वॉज द ग्रेटेस्ट लॉ गिवर एंड द आर्किटेक्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. संसार को बनाने वाला कौन है? भगवान है हिमसेल्फ. एंड ही क्रिएटेड द वर्ल्ड आउट ऑफ कॉज एंड इंट्रोड्यूस्ड ऑर्डर एंड सिमेट्री. कि उन्होंने ही यहाँ पे वर्ल्ड में इट इज़ ऑल द गॉड्स क्रिएशन दैट ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड ऑर्डर एंड सिमेट्री, कि सब लोगों को एक समान बनाया है. क्लियर चिल्ड्रन? नाउ जस्ट सी दिस चिल्ड्रन, फिगर नंबर 7. इट शोज द प्लान ऑफ द जामे मस्जिद बिल्ड बाय शाहजहान इन हिज न्यू कैपिटल एट शाहजहानाबाद. क्लियर चिल्ड्रन? So just see this, how in a planned manner this mosque is being constructed. Now, this is a place in the center of the mosque that is called as Qibla. And children, what do you mean by Qibla? क्या होता था? It is the towards, this is a place where the people used to give or offer the prayers as in the form of the namaz. It is towards the direction towards Makkah. Clear children? Now children, as each new dynasty came to power, जितनी भी हम dynasties के बारे में पढ़ें, either any of the ruler came into power, the kings wanted to emphasize their moral right to be rulers. कि वो अपने आप को show, in order to show themselves to be the rulers. They are very much interested in the construction of temples. Constructing places of worship provided rulers with a chance to proclaim their close relationship with God. And by constructing temples, they are able to make themselves prove to their people. वो अपने लोगों में अपने आप को साबित कर पाते थे that they have a close relationship with God, कि भगवान ने हमें धरती पर भेजा है to work for them. Clear? Rulers, they also used to offer patronage to the learned and pious and tried to transform their capitals and cities into great cultural centers that brought fame to their rule and their realm. Clear children? What does this mean? जितने भी rulers होते थे, they used to transform their capitals and cities. जितनी भी उनकी बड़े बड़े cities होते थे, they used to transform into cultural centers by construction of the big buildings, temples over there. In this manner, they used to get the fame for their rule. Clear? Now children, it was widely believed that the rule of a just king would be an age of plenty when the heavens would not withhold rain, at the same time making precious water available by constructing tanks and reservoirs was highly praised. Now just see in this example, this is in figure number 8. This is also an example of Har Mandir Sahib, that is Golden Temple with the Holy Sarovar tank in Amritsar. So that was also become very, very popular to construct the pious holy tanks along with the places of worship. Clear, children? Sultan Iltutmish won universal respect for constructing a large reservoir just outside Delhi Khwana. It was called the Hawz-e Sultani or the King's Reservoir. Now, sometimes these tanks and reservoirs were part of a temple, mosque, or a gurdwara, a place of worship. Clear, children? So, as we have discussed, one of the example of Harmandir Sahib, that is Golden Temple, in which this sarovar, a holy sarovar or a tank, is a part of this place of worship. Clear? Now, come to another topic, that was why were temples destroyed or targeted? Children, as in the previous chapters itself, we have already discussed that thing. Unless and until, or in any case, any of the ruler used to attack to another's kingdom, firstly they used to target the temples. Clear? Why it is so? Because the temples are the in you can say the way of showing the power and strength of the ruler. Clear, children? So kings, as we already discussed that thing, kings, they used to build the temples to demonstrate their devotion to God and their power and wealth. It is not surprising that when they attacked one another's kingdom, they often targeted these buildings. Clear, children? Now, in the early 9th century, when the Padyan king Sri Vallabha invaded Sri Lanka and defeated King the Senavan, the Buddhist monk and the chronicle Dhamakirti noted that thing. He removed all the valuables. जब उस मंदिर पे आक्रमण हुआ तो क्या किया उसने? He removed all the valuables, even the statue of the Buddha, made entirely in gold in the jewel palace, and the golden images in the various monasteries, all that he seized. उसने सारा का सारा अपने कब्जे में ले लिया. The blow to the pride of the Sinhalese rulers had to be avenged, and the next Sinhalese ruler, Sena II, ordered his general to invade Madurai, the capital of the Pandyas. The Buddhist chronicle noted that the expedition made a special effort to find and restore the gold statue of the Buddha. So children, ये example जो हमने पढ़ा, it is all describing that कि any ruler, when they used to attack another's territory, their first target was to take out all the wealth from the temples. Clear? Now similarly, take another example. In the 11th century, when the Chola king Rajendra I built a Shiva temple in his capital. Clear, children? He filled with it prize statues seized from defeated ruler. Clear? जब उसने अपने एक शिव का टेम्पल बनवाया अपने राज्य में, तो उसने क्या किया? ही फिल्ड दैट टेम्पल. उसने पूरे के पूरे टेम्पल में जितने भी स्टैचूज लगाए महंगे महंगे, दे आर ऑल फ्रॉम वेयर? सीज फ्रॉम द, जितने भी उसने राजाओं को हराया था और जहाँ से उसने इकट्ठे किए थे ये सारे के सारे स्टैचूज, ही just build up in that temple. Clear? An incomplete list included a sun pedestal from the Chalukyas, a Ganesha statue, and several statues of Durga, a Nandi statue from the eastern Chalukyas, an image of Bhairava and Bhairavi from the Kalingas of Orissa, and Kali statue from the Palas of Bengal. Children, these are all the example of the statues that he has seized from by defeating these rulers. It is all about the Chola king, the Rajendra I. Now, children, come to another important example, the Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni, as we have discussed about him in the second chapter, was a contemporary of Rajendra I. Contemporary means of the same time period when the Rajendra I was ruling. So during his campaign in the subcontinent, जब महमूद of Ghazni ने भारत पे आक्रमण किया, he also attacked the temples of defeated kings and looted their wealth and idols. उसका ने भी सबसे पहले क्या किया? He just only targeted all the temples and just only looted out all the wealth and idols. जितनी भी वहाँ पे स्टैचूज थी भगवान की, वो सारी की सारी उसने लूट ली. Clear? Sultan Mahmud was not a very important ruler at that time, but by destroying temple, especially the one at Somnath, he tried to win credit as a great hero of Islam. वो कोई बहुत महान शासक नहीं था, but why he is being remembered in the history as by destroying the temples during that time period in the subcontinent, he became the hero. Clear, children? In the political culture of the Middle Ages, most rulers displayed their political might and military success by attacking and looting the places of worship of defeated rulers. जितने भी मिडिल एजेस की अगर हम बात करें, सो जितने भी रूलर्स थे, हाउ दे आर एबल टू डिस्प्ले देयर पॉलिटिकल माइट, वो अपने आप को एक महान शासक कैसे प्रूव कर पाए, एज बाई अटैकिंग एंड लूटिंग द प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप. जितने भी राजाओं को उन्होंने हराया, सबसे पहला उन्होंने काम क्या किया? दे जस्ट ओनली टारगेटेड द टेम्पल्स एंड दे लूटेड आउट ऑल द वेल्थ फ्रॉम देयर. Clear, children, about these topics that we have discussed under this chapter? Now, in the next class, or in we are going to discuss about the different gardens, tombs, and forts, the construction or the architectural style that are being used by the different rulers